We have some major updates of mixed martial arts, starting with the news. Islam vs. Arman Tsarukyan is almost officially set for UFC 311. Although UFC hasn't made an announcement yet, the Habib MMA school recently posted that the fight will take place on January 18th in Los Angeles. On Instagram handle they post this: UFC 311 Islam vs. Arman on January 18th, Los Angeles. Song Yadong fires back at Sean Strickland over his comments about Chinese people. For those who don't know, Sean Strickland has made some negative comments about Chinese people multiple times. Now, recently, Song Yadong responded to these remarks by saying, "Since Sean is talking this way, he's no different than toxic fans. I believe this is discrimination towards Chinese people."
你说什么？
因为上次我看到他给你的采访嘛，我听到他说了很多中国人的坏话。 就是一些不好的事情，但是我觉得我不知道他有没有去过中国，他可能从来没有去过中国，但他就这样认为中国人是怎么样的。我觉得这样的话，他跟那些网友，就是那些黑粉没什么区别，我觉得。而且我希望他不要去这样的话，我觉得是有点歧视中国人，所以我很尊重他作为一个拳手，但是这样做是不好的，对。
Would you invite him to China with you?
对，如果下次他有机会，我可以带他去中国，因为每个国家都有好的一面，有坏的一面。然后他可能只看到那个坏的一面，然后他一直在网上说这些东西。但下次如果有机会，我可以带他去我们中国看一看一些美好的事物、美好的人。对。
Michael Chandler revealed the exact reason why he accepted the fight with Charles Oliveira instead of waiting for Conor McGregor. Recently, one more time during New York Post interview, Chandler opens up about Conor McGregor fight. Chandler stated that while the Oliveira fight isn't the same as a matchup with Conor, it's definitely the next best option. Chandler emphasized that this fight is a significant step towards his goal of contending for the title. Listen to what he actually revealed.
I looked at the Conor situation like it was something that we chased and we followed the path for a while. I had a lot of securities and conversations going on behind the scenes that the media, the fans, the people didn't really know. So I knew the fight was eventually going to get booked. It did get booked. I was training for it, excited for it. The rug gets pulled out from under me a couple weeks before, but I've been here before. I've been here numerous times. Guys have pulled out of fights. So it's I felt sorry for myself for a couple days, you know, packed everything up here in Florida, drained my cold plunge, unplugged everything, locked my door, flew home, licked my wounds for a couple days, and then got back on the horse and continued to train because I knew either the fight with Conor was going to be rebooked pretty quick or it wasn't, and I was going to go fight someone else. And now here we are, this opportunity, huge opportunity against Charles Oliveira, #1 contender fight. Co-main event, 5 rounds on the Jon Jones versus Stipe at Madison Square Garden, the world's most iconic arena. It's not the Conor fight, but if you could think of a next best thing, this is definitely it, and now we're working toward the title.
Russian fighter Rinat fires shots at Daniel Cormier after DC called him a moron. Back at UFC 308, Rinat secured a win over Carlos Leal, but the commentators, especially Cormier, questioned the result. Rinat didn't hold back either and called the commentators really bad. In response, Cormier called him a moron. Now, in an interview with Meta MMA, Rinat again fired back at Cormier, saying, "It looks like Cormier made a bet on an opponent that didn't work out." Nate Diaz got a fan to fight him in the street after the guy asked for an autograph. Diaz recently had a lighthearted sparring match with a fan who asked him for an autograph on his MMA gloves. Shavkat Rakhmonov isn't happy with Belal Muhammad's latest statement about Shavkat's next fight. After Belal withdrew from UFC 310, promotion was actively looking for an opponent for Shavkat Rakhmonov. In the meantime, Kamaru Usman showed interest in fighting him for the interim title, and that matchup seems to be on the line, but on the other hand, Belal criticized this, saying he's only out for 6 weeks due to an injury, and that an interim title doesn't really make sense. Now, Shavkat has responded to Belal's statement that an interim title doesn't make sense here.
Yeah, I don't believe it's going to be 6 weeks, to be honest. I believe Jack Dell had the same problem with infection, and he's still not back. So it can take a while, and Belal don't need to be greedy. If I become an interim champ, he's still going to have a belt too, and it's going to be champ versus champ, even bigger fight.
Stipe Miocic has responded to criticism about his upcoming fight with Jon Jones at UFC 309. Some fans feel Stipe might be too old now and think Tom Aspinall deserves the fight more. Now, in a recent interview with MMA Fighting, Stipe addressed these doubts.
I just wanted to fight Jon. That's always wanted to do, and don't get wrong, Aspinall, he's a great fighter, but I just want to fight Jon Jones.
Yeah. What did you think of him at heavyweight when that's fight with Cyril Gane?
I was right there. I was front row. He did what he was supposed to do. He got the win. I didn't see much because he didn't go that long. But he did everything he was supposed to. He got the win.
You are exactly what everyone has said for years. You would be one of, if not the toughest matchup for Jon at heavyweight.
Yeah, I think so. I believe so. I think any fight I have, I'm the toughest matchup for them because not just me, it's my coaches. We have always come with a great game plan. And they improvise, they make everything right, and they. As long as I go to the game plan, listen, and we'll be good.
For the most part, he's been pretty dominant. What do you think has been the biggest thing that helps Jon stay that dominant?
You don't know. I think he's good at what he does. He's very, he's an artist. He knows how to mix it up. He knows how to keep the guy guessing, and that's why he's done so well.
Have you heard the narrative of people saying, why is Stipe getting this fight? Why are we seeing Jon and Stipe? What do you say to the critics who say, it should be Aspinall, it should not be Stipe?
It was my choice. It's the fight I wanted. UFC gave it to me. They didn't have to. They gave it to me.
Would you consider Jon Jones the quote unquote toughest matchup, or maybe the hardest puzzle to solve just because of who Jon Jones is?
Oh yeah, sure, I guess. But I think every fight's your hardest fight because it's a new guy, it's a different style. Because one fight you're fighting, I was fighting Francis, the next fight I was fighting DC. It's totally different. 180 and. So it just depends. I think every fight's your hardest fight. Definitely everyone has a puzzle you guys got to figure it. Everyone has tendencies, you got to figure them out.
But in an ideal scenario, how does this one end?
Oh yeah, of course, a knockout. There's no question. The gusto.
When you think about it, obviously, again, Jon's fought everyone. Do you feel like Jon's ever fought anyone with your power, though?
Well, maybe not. I don't know. I never fought his guys. We'll find out.
Well, Steven, we've been waiting for the. As much as we've been waiting for this, I know you've been waiting for this for even longer. As the anticipation, as I said, 2 weeks away, are you just amped up, just ready to go?
Yeah, man. I just wish it was here already, but fortunately it's not. But listen, patience is a virtue, and we'll get there soon enough.
And new is what we're.
Yes, you're gonna hear and new. Polished bad.
I love it, Stipe. Thank you as always.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.